All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, January the 7th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other Mr. Beer Samurai. Happy New Year, Mr. Beer Samurai. Oh, what was that?
Oh, sorry. Well, it is National Pass Gas Day, so I figured that.
Happy National Pass Gas Day. For those of you that celebrate the day.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oof.
Clearly, Dave does. So,
okay.
Sounds like it's a dog. I mean,
is this one better?
That's a little better, but
what about this one?
That's probably the second one was the best one.
Yeah. How about
yeah, there you go.
That one's kind of cute, but I don't know.
All right.
Oh, that was.
Is that like a fart box you got there?
No, it's actually not a fart box. It's the one that I use for when we do we get a guest on, and and sometimes if I think about it, we do the
applause, right?
Yeah, and if someone says something stupid. Okay.
There you go. That's good. Some of the applause. I mean, you'd think we'd have a little bit more technologically advanced audio for a show that's been going for approaching 5 years.
Yeah, but we have this, and of course for your sense of humor. There you go. Always. So we have that. Actually,
I didn't do any dad jokes last week, did I?
No, because usually your dad jokes get.
I know. Well, no, I actually had a couple ready to go. I guess I didn't do them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
maybe I did. I thought maybe I did.
I don't know. Let's rewind the tape. Sorry.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Man,
you're right.
Well, you know what? I think I did, but I'll tell the one again because we're saying Happy New Year. It's our first show of the year.
Yeah.
We could go right now.
And if you did on our last show, I probably didn't remember.
This is very true.
This is very true. I didn't finish the show.
Well, I said with my main. I said that starting last Wednesday, I was only going to watch videos in 1080p.
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 Mm-hmm.
That was my New Year's resolution.
1080p.
Mm-hmm. If you're not aware of what video resolution,
I know what 1080p is. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the pun. There's got to be something about
my New Year's resolution.
Oh, I see. That should be.
If you have to explain a dad joke, it's not really big.
Yeah, that's either that or I'm just tired. I don't. Or thirsty.
Or thirsty. Well, it's also National Bobblehead Day.
Oh, it is National Bobblehead Day.
Happy National Bobblehead Day.
I have one right here.
I have the same one.
It is. They're one of three. Do you know?
You know what? Mine says Keith Hernandez. Yours says Zednan Re Hitik.
Oh, let me see.
You can turn your video around. Yes.
Yep. Hold on. Video. No. Hold on. Yep. There we go. And blop.
There you go. Now, does it say Keith Hernandez?
No,
it says Keith Hernandez. And here's the funny thing. Well, it's not funny for you, but you didn't go to the second game of those.
Yes.
So Ron Darling.
So you just need the Steve Cohen.
Not the Steve Cohen. Gary
Cohen. Yeah. Steve Cohen is someone else entirely.
Yes, that's Uncle Steve, and he has a lot more money than Gary Cohen, I'm sure. Because if Gary Cohen had Steve Cohen's money, Gary Cohen would have bought the team a long time ago.
Yeah, and probably bought Keith a better wardrobe.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Anyway.
And it's also
Keith's got a really good wardrobe, actually.
This is true. And to round it out, it is Happy Harlem Globetrotters Day.
It is, but you're forgetting a very important one.
What's that?
International Silly Walks Day.
It is International Silly Walks Day, and
from
if we were,
Ministry of Silly Walks, Monty Python.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if we were standing, we'd do some.
And probably hurt ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do John Cleese's pretty close to him, but that was also 40 years ago. So
yeah,
or more than that. So yeah.
Yeah, I might be able to pull off one of the other ones, but not Cleese's.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
So, what are you going to do anyway?
So I have not had a beer this year.
You have not had a beer this year. I had a beer on. Well, I drank on New Year's Eve. Obviously, that was the day after our.
Yeah, I had champagne.
right? At beer on New Year's Eve, I didn't have any beer. I had beer on the Thursday, the second, because we were bowling, right?
Yeah.
But then I didn't have any. I didn't have any beer Friday or Saturday. I don't think.
You were at
So,
Descendants, weren't you?
Friday I had beer. That's right.
Yeah,
The
you were at
second.
Descendants with Joe.
Uh, right, right. We had the event out there, which we'll talk
Yep.
about in a minute. I want to
Yep.
bring that up when we get into it. But and then Saturday I didn't. But Sunday I had some beer during football. So I mean, other than one day, I've been drinking beer, but I didn't
No.
drink yesterday, and we're
I,
not drinking today.
well, we are drinking today. We're
Well,
just we're just not drinking any alcohol because we are actually we're doing our dry January show. We don't know if this will be an annual thing. We don't know, and not for nothing, we don't really like to support, part of the industry that's maybe undermining craft beer, but it is from breweries, so
exactly. It is our non-alcoholic beer show. There you go.
yeah. For those who celebrate dry January, why?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just why.
Exactly.
But yeah, I get it. It's a health thing. So John and I actually went out and found some non-alcoholic beer. The good thing about it is it's cheap,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not inexpensive. It's not expensive, so you're not wasting too much money. I was actually in the storage unit the other day and actually rescued a couple glasses out of storage, out of the boxes, and I figured I like this mug.
There you go.
Right.
Very nice.
But I'm starting off with Estrella Galicia.
Estrella Galicia. Very nice.
From Spain,
Mm-hmm.
0.0.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how very nice it is. This is the one I've got the least.
It's a very nice bottle.
It's a pretty label.
There you go.
It's a pretty label. It smells like sadness.
Smells like sadness in a glass.
Well,
How sad.
well, it
Look at
tastes.
your face, and I'm trying to figure out.
It tastes like Australia. It tastes like Estrella Galicia, actually.
Okay.
Are
you sure you didn't get the
sort
regular
of.
one?
See that? What does that say?
0.0.
0.0.
0.0.
Which
that
is
was Mr. Blutarski. No, that was Mr. Blutarski's grade point average.
It's also how much I run.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
0.0.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but the aftertaste is. I mean, I know Galicia, Estrella Galicia, because there's people know Estrella Dam, right? That's Portuguese.
Yep.
Estrella Galicia is the Spanish one. I think there's another Estrella beer, but at any rate, it's always had kind of a fruity kind of taste to it, but the grain aftertaste is gone entirely. It's just that fruitiness that's left.
Right.
And yeah, I could a hot day and for some reason I can't drink beer, like say I'm on antibiotics or something. This is not a horrible choice.
Right.
I've drank worse in at least one brewery in Jersey.
There you go. That's true. Man, there's a handful of breweries.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I can. But this way, if I didn't like it, I would have just chugged the thing. Be done with it.
See, folks, if you haven't watched the show or you don't know this, when Dave drinks rather fast, all right, he doesn't necessarily savor things in a long, lengthy way. He will drink bigger beers a little slower, not much, a little slower, but when you see him down a beer, just chug a beer and get rid of it, that's a beer that he doesn't like.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to waste it. Waste not, want not.
And if you ever see me pour a beer, don't ever buy that beer because there's something seriously wrong with it if I poured it. If I just don't like it, I'm going to chug it down.
Right.
But if I just take it, put it aside, and that goes in the sink later, drain pours. It's rare for me to drain pour, but when I do, there's a reason for it.
And depends. I mean, there could be a per case basis, right? It could be an
Yeah,
older beer. It could be
could
something
be
that was a what
light
we like to
struck.
call shelf turds, right?
Yep.
Could be light struck. Could be. It might not be a representation of that beer, the style, the beer, the brewery. It could just be that bottle that he had.
Or it could just be a shit beer.
Oh, it could. I mean, very possibly could be that too.
That does happen. That does
Absolutely.
happen.
So,
So what are you starting with?
So same thing.
Estrella Galicia?
Estrella Galicia.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Really?
Look the same? Look similar?
Okay.
There you
go. So you're okay. So I guess our local liquor stores carry the same stuff.
They do, because the one right up on the corner here. I mean,
well, we'll see if you make it through my whole catalog with the same stuff.
No, I got 2 of these because they didn't have anything else but.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. All right. So you were talking about Descendants.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's no 0% anything
there was
there
not
except well, they have water and soda and stuff like that.
I didn't have any of that
for the kids.
Right, I didn't have any of that. So, whatchamacallit? Where was I going to go? So, okay, so Friday.
Well, you did go to Descendants.
I did go to Descendants, yeah, with where I was going to start the thing. So Friday, last Friday was January 3rd. Right.
It was.
Descendants Brewing is in Milford, New Jersey. Right? It's owned by Joe David.
Mm-hmm.
Joe and I go way back. We've worked together in several incarnations. But whatchamacallit? He now owns and has since 2017. He's owned Descendants Brewing, and now he named it, mind you. He named it Descendants Brewing. It was the old Ship Inn,
and now it's actually
originally it was the Milford Brewing Company.
Right.
All right,
and then that was the first brew pub in New Jersey, right?
It was the first brew pub in New Jersey, hence the first craft beer brewed in New Jersey.
Right, because it was the first brewery, period, much less brew pub.
Right. Well, I mean, short of Anheuser-Busch or
Craft.
was in Newark, and the first craft brewery.
Well, the post-prohibition,
the first non-macro beer brewery in the state of New Jersey.
There we go.
Right,
whose name began with an M.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
I hate those I hate it when you've got something that's got so many damn qualifiers on it.
Yeah, exactly. So in any event, it was
like I'm the oldest person in my family whose name begins with a D, by the way.
There you go. And you hang your hat on that.
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. It's a conversation piece of the family reunion.
Yeah.
There he is.
The oldest member of the family who begins with a D.
Exactly. So in any event, what started as the Milford Brewing Company, and it was the old Ship Inn. So basically, just converted over time to the old Ship Inn. Now they've always been a craft brewery, a brew pub, if you will. We've had Joe on the show. Joe,
yes, we did.
I'll look for the show number and the date. Anybody interested can go back and look at that. There's all information about Old Ship Inn and everything. Joe does a deep dive into the history of the brewery.
Yes, he does.
Joe bought it in 2017. But here's the thing: the first beer that was poured out of that brewery was on January 3rd, 1995. So last Friday, January 3rd, 2025, was the exact 30th anniversary of craft beer in New Jersey.
Yep.
So Joe decided to have an event honoring it. And he had 6 breweries on tap, alongside of his brews, as well as a couple of other taps that he has there that are standard. I'll talk about some of them in a minute because some of them are interesting. But the 6 beers that he had on were, I'm going to pull it up right here because I want to get the exact. There we go. It was Flounder Shadowmere, which is a Weizenbach.
Nice.
7.5.
Wise choice.
Yep, 7.6% Weizenbach. Opportunity Brewing, which is also, by the way, contract brewery. They do not have a taproom space
Okay.
opportunity. They had 100 in Haze, and
Okay.
that's obviously a hazy New England IPA.
Right.
All right. Sunken Silo, who we've had on the show.
Love those guys.
OG Cushatunk.
They've got the coolest names.
Mm-hmm. And that is a West Coast IPA. All right. Oddbird brought who we've had on the show.
Love those guys. Amazing
Absolutely.
stuff.
Brought their Prowsville Pills. So it's a Pilsner, 5.2% Pills.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah, I
It was
imagine.
tasty. Manskirt, who we've had on the show.
Joe.
I
Yeah.
love Joe.
Another Joe.
Joe was not there. He was
Oh.
actually doing his Utilikilt festival or sale or whatever at the brewery on Friday night. So he couldn't attend. He couldn't attend.
I've been thinking about getting one of those.
There you go.
Just not in the winter.
Right. But they brought us out. Safe Word.
I've had that. That's a play off the fact that they're in a bank.
Right.
And they have a safe.
Right. And 9% Imperial Stout with tons of cocoa nibs.
Nice.
And then they had the sixth beer they had there was a Coastal poured out Starboard Home.
I'm aware of that beer. I've had it.
It's a 5%. I'm not enough to read for this one.
I think I've got 2 cans of it left actually.
There you go. I got a couple. Yeah. It's 5% rye ESB with nice toffee and caramel and fruity malt notes with nice rye spice blending with the subtly
Hey, John. They don't sponsor us. They don't sponsor us anymore. You don't need to. Oh, never mind. You're doing yourself a favor.
I do myself.
By the way, Joe is our 59th different guest on our 70th show.
Okay.
On January 25th, 2022.
January 25th, 2022.
I think it's about time to have him on the show again.
Yeah, we got to get him back on the show. So that's
well,
that's 3 years ago. So
I'd like to get back there because the last time I was there, if you remember, he had to cease production for a while. And
yes, he did.
And when he came back online, he was like very, very limited. Didn't have a lot of his own stuff on tap. Mm-hmm. And I forget what it is I had there, but I had to talk to him afterward. Joe, have you tasted it? He's like, oh, please. No, I haven't. He went and tasted it. He went, yeah, okay, we're going to pull that. They had all kinds of production issues. They were remodeling, right?
They were remodeling, yeah.
They're retooling, and I think he was using one of the old pieces of equipment, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, everything's been. Yeah, he took that was a brief issue, but he.
Yeah, that's why I need to get back because I know
that's years ago. Actually,
that's over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I because I was there like 2 weeks after that, so it wasn't. I believe it was in 2022. So and I know he makes great beer, so I've got to get back.
Well, he had on 6 of his own last Friday. He had his the ship's best bidder, so he had his best bidder.
Yep, that's a good beer.
Very good beer. He had on his Belgian Wit. Called.
Not had it. Well, because wit's not one of my favorite styles.
Right.
I'm one of those people who cilantro throws soap, which means cardamom is also not one of my favorites. Because it's
right.
Because it's the same.
Cardamom and cilantro, and you get soap, so you don't like it. So, but he had on his Belgian what's called Blanche de Sombreffe.
Hold on 1 second. Be right back.
I'll keep it going for her. And then he had his American Blonde, and Dave is getting something from somewhere. I'm just going to keep talking. Folks, I'll say this right now. We're using a different format tonight. So, using a different format tonight. So we're usually on StreamYard. This is research. We're trying something new. But you can still comment in and everything else. There's still, everything works, so have at it. Shouldn't be any different for you. Let's put it that way.
For who?
And folks, one note here, point of making a note here. If you do see anything that seems different from any other show, please let us know. because we do want to fix that. We do want to change that because we're using different. I said because we're using a different service tonight.
Yeah, if like my video's upside down or something, or
Right, exactly. All right, so he had his American Blonde called Ote American Blonde.
Ote Panky.
Ote American Blonde, yeah. His 5.3% porter called Alexander Hamilton. He called it.
Oh, were you in the room where it happened?
I was not.
Okay.
But
But
did you? Good.
But did you take your shot?
No. He
Do you want any more quotes from the play? No, I'm sorry.
No, you can let it go.
Wait, and if the person who shall not be named 3 times was on the show, he could probably quote the whole damn thing. He's only seen it like 8 times.
He had a copper pale ale brewed with rye, which was really good. And then it wasn't on yet. It's coming soon. He has a wee heavy, 8.7% wee heavy.
Ooh,
yeah,
coming soon.
Out there. Yeah. But he also had
it's a haul out there, though.
He also had on the chocolate cherry Duchess de Bourgogne.
He had that on when I was there last. That's such a good beer.
It is. So yeah, so we're doing a lot. We were doing a lot of beers, and guys were there. I think it was Doug from Flounder, Mike from pretty sure it was Mike from Opportunity. Tom from Jersey Girl was there.
Okay.
Jersey Girl did not have anything on tap, but Tom apparently doesn't live too far away. He's Chuck's new assistant brewer.
I see.
And he was there, so we were chatting it up a little bit.
Cool.
And so that was fun. It was a fun night. It wasn't. Let's put it this way: it wasn't packed, but I didn't expect it to be since it was 2 days after New Year's Day. But it was pretty busy, pretty steady for New Year's Day. So it turned out to be a nice event.
Good.
Pretty tasty.
Good.
So, but we're going to get Joe back on the show, and we did mention this when he was on the show too. He also has one of the biggest and best bourbon collections and whiskey collections.
Oh God, yes, he does.
So not only are we going to get him beer-wise back on this show, we're going to get him on the other Chaser show.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you guys drank something that wasn't bourbon, though.
We did. At one point in the evening, one of his bar guests,
and there's a reason I'm bringing it up because there's someone watching right now that would be very interested in that.
Who's a regular? That was. We have a comment. Here we go. There we go. Yes. Doug Smith says nothing seems different. All good. And he said, "Why the switch from StreamYard?"
Because neither one of us has hit the lottery yet.
Yeah, StreamYard. It's going up and up and up and up and up.
Put it this way: surge pricing is now effective in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
But so Joe was drinking.
Yeah. So it was one of the bar guests was there, and they were talking back and forth, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, 5 of us wind up doing a shot of Malort.
And here we've got John sent me this, and it looks.
That is Joe holding a bottle of Malort, and the guy by his finger there in the background there with the glasses on, he's the one that inspired the shot time. So.
It's funny because he's almost doing the Zane Lamprey.
A little bit,
ching, ching, but he's doing it with a grimace, like, I can't believe I just drank this.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but it was fun. It was fun. So yes, we went out there and had Malort too and everything else. And then Doug just commented and he said, "You guys have to do a Laird's Applejack and a Chaser show."
We'd have to send a bottle out to Tom.
Yeah, we would.
Although
I don't know, maybe Tom might be able to.
He might.
It's possible he might be able to get it.
It's been around long enough. So, speaking of, we have a show tomorrow.
We do have a show tomorrow. I'm a little hungry. I'm gonna have. There's only a few of these left. Get these big bags at.
You're still doing the what you call it, the peppermint barks?
Nope. Oop. Big bags. Get big bags of these Reese's Christmas tree peanut butter.
Have you seen that thing where people take Reese's peanut butter cup and spread blue cheese on them?
I have not.
I'm willing to try it.
I don't know if I want to waste the peanut butter cup.
See, but I love blue cheese too, so I don't.
I love blue cheese.
I'd be wasting both if it didn't work.
Right.
So just saying.
Yeah. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take one of these, I'll cut a little corner of it off. Put a dab of blue cheese on it. If that's good, I'll do the rest of the first one half of it. If that's good, then I'll do the other half.
Okay, there you go. Or you can do the left and right of a Twix. Mm-hmm. Nah, don't do that. That doesn't sound pleasant at all.
At all. Not at all. No. There you go. Jeff's Valort, gotta love it. Tom gets Laird's. There you go. Tom gets Laird's. So there you go. He's saying Tom
as far as he it's available to him or he understands it.
No, I'm pretty sure he meant it's available to him.
Just checking. You never know.
You never knew.
Okay, so I've got like these 12-ounce cans of the next one, but I've got a rather large glass that I'm pouring it into. And,
go ahead.
I don't have to worry about getting drunk. There's no alcohol in this. So this one, well, this is the glass I have.
Okay. I've
got the big boy.
Oh, yeah, the big boy. Look at that.
Yeah, so the Sam Adams Just the Haze IPA.
Mm-hmm. Non-alcoholic.
So I had higher hopes for this than I did for this, but still not extremely high hopes.
I'm curious to see.
Smells like hops.
Interesting.
Smells nice.
Smells nice?
Yeah, it's got a good nose feel to it.
It's got a good nose feel. I was just going to say that. What do you get?
It kind of tastes like a remember Orange Julius?
Sure.
Remember when Orange Julius kind of like warmed up a little bit and everything separated?
Yep.
And the non-white stuff, it's kind of like Orange Julius also did like a pina colada, if you remember. These are all non-alcoholic, but
I remember the pina colada. I don't think I ever had it.
If it tastes like if you blended those two things.
Okay, so blended the Orange Julius when it's separated and the
pina colada when it's separated.
Okay. That's interesting. But is it like, I don't want to say good, but is it drinkable?
It's drinkable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, if you're looking for a 6%, 6.5%, 7% New England IPA, you're going to buy a 6.5%, 7% New England IPA.
Yes, you are.
So, but if there's a reason that you can't drink alcohol and you feel in the mood for a New England IPA, is this a suitable replacement for it?
No. From what I understand, Athletic Brewing makes actually a very serviceable, all their stuff's 0.0, right? Athletic.
Right.
And from what I understand, they actually make according to Alcatullo, they make a pretty damn good non-alcoholic IPA.
All right.
So
New England or just West Coast? Or
no, I think it's New England.
Really?
As what Athletic has got like a full line.
They do have a full line. Yeah, I mean they probably have both or more than that. So
I can't say I've never had one. So
there you go. I've never had one either. So I've never had that.
As a matter of fact, this was the first non-alcoholic beer I've ever drank. Right there.
Non-alcoholic beer, because there's a reason you said non-alcoholic beer, because there's in the past the non-alcoholic beers did have some alcohol in them.
Right, the near beers.
Near beer, but it was was it like a 0.5%? I think it was like a half a percent or something like that.
Something along those lines.
Right. And they were O'Doul's, Coors Cutter, Miller Sharps. I think there was another one too. Oh, Beck's had one.
Yeah, but they just called it Beck's Zero or something like that. Or
yeah, but it was one of those near beers that had like 5% alcohol or something like that in it. Whatchamacallit? So these are actually these beers. All of the alcohol has been removed. There's no alcohol at all.
Not a drop of it.
Yeah.
So they all taste like sadness and depression.
Of course.
Which is ironic considering that beer is a depressant.
This is
Alcohol is a depressant.
alcohol is a depressant.
Not beer.
Right?
Beer makes me
Not beer.
happy.
Beer makes me happy.
But
Beer.
alcohol is technically a depressant.
Mm-hmm. Beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
That is wrong. You know damn well that quote is wrong.
I know.
Ben Franklin said wine.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually root for the beer industry over the wine industry, but it kind of annoys me when people get things historically inaccurate.
So we have to find out who the first person that changed wine to beer, and I don't mean in a Jesus way. I mean actually changed the word wine in that statement that Ben Franklin said to beer, and then that's the person that coined that phrase.
Yes, and then we can quote them, and then it's historically accurate.
Right, exactly.
There we go.
Right, exactly. Which we call it. Doug Smith said, Tom has a bottle of Laird's for sure. Okay, so we got to do that.
He also probably has a can of lard.
That's true.
That he cooks with. So
yeah. Which we call it. He also said, I like that more breweries are getting into the NA category. More options is nice, but most of the NA beers I've tried have been meh. That's what Doug said.
Yeah.
And then
meh is a good word for it.
Meh is a good word for it. And then just get this other comment in. Kat Reyes. Hi, Kat.
Hey, Kat.
She said she bought a THC infused near beer at the dispensary the other day. She hasn't drank it yet.
It's cheating. It's
interesting.
No alcohol, but it's still a buzz.
Right. What should we call it? Then to continue, she said a lot of breweries have fruity sounding names and flavors. As a beer drinker who always eats with a drink, it's not quite the same pairing experience. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah. And I think we figured it out. Dave Campanale just commented in. He said it was him that changed it. We caught him.
I think that is a fallacy, and I think Council has just perjured himself.
Well, prove it wasn't him.
I've seen it written on brewery walls before he was born.
There you go.
So, I'm sorry, Dave. You suffer from the fact that you're a youngster compared to us. So caught you again.
I didn't say you weren't gonna. I just wanted you to prove him wrong. That's all. Anyway,
done deal.
So anyway, yeah. So that was fun. That was a fun event out at Descendants last week. But you were not in the state the week before.
I was not in the state the week before. We actually wound up going down to Baltimore.
Hold on, thought a second. He said he's not under oath, therefore it's not perjury. It's a misstatement.
I see. That is true. You have a point there, Counsel.
There you go.
I retract the objection.
There you go. Case dismissed. There you go.
No, it's not the case.
Well, this case was dismissed. There you go. And Doug Smith said THC beers. Now that's a whole new category that could be very interesting. You're absolutely right on that one. Could be very interesting.
Could be very interesting. I saw something, been seeing ads for something that has microdoses of THC and mushrooms and mesc in it.
Interesting.
That could be interesting as well.
That could be very, very interesting. Let's put it this way. Around 9:00 last Monday night, I would like to have seen you had one of them.
It may have settled me down a little bit. I don't know.
That's true. Might have actually counteracted everything else.
Did you so CNN on New Year's Eve, they have Anderson Cooper. They used to have it with somebody else who got canceled because Kathy doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut and say things that get people pissed off. But now he does it with someone named Andy Cohen, and they were interviewing. What was the disc jockey's name who was on it? I can't remember. Very famous disc jockey. And
man or woman?
Man. And apparently he likes to microdose LSD.
Okay. And
they asked him, well, what's the strangest place that you've ever, dropped some LSD? He's like, just before this interview on CNN, he is flying on LSD. I can't remember his name. So I'm wondering if there'll be like a microdosed LSD beers.
That's interesting as well.
Yeah.
There you go. You want to go on a beer trip?
There you go.
There you go. Gives whole new meaning to the term beer trip.
Yep.
Yeah. Brian Boak is on the show with us. He said, cheers. Cheers, Brian.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm sure he's not drinking anything non-alcoholic.
He's got he's got a bottle of the non-alcoholic Gentleman Jack that he's got.
That's what he's got. He's got the 0.0 Jack.
Jack, exactly.
It's called Jack Squat.
Jack, there you go. Well done, sir. Well done.
Hey,
Well done.
I'm here all week. Try the deal.
All right. Well, that's an open. Well done.
Oh man.
So anyway, back to Baltimore.
Oh yeah, back to Baltimore. No, we're not going back to Baltimore anytime soon. We saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We did the National Aquarium. The National Aquarium's expensive, but you know what? It's really freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's really freaking cool. But one of the coolest things we did was the Poe House.
Mm-hmm.
And not the Poe House, as in we had no money, as an Edgar Allan Poe House.
Right.
We went to see his graves.
The Poe House.
We went to see his graves. So you know he's got 2 graves in Baltimore.
Right. Well, they cut him in half and put one in.
No, what it is, he was back towards the back end of the graveyard. Now you know there's a difference between a graveyard and a cemetery, right?
Right.
You know it is.
No, I actually don't. I know there's a difference. I don't
There
know.
is.
If you tell me, I'll probably remember it, but I can't say it.
A graveyard is on the grounds of a church. A cemetery is not. Right. That's the difference. So anyway, he was like in the back there. It was like very shabby stone. So they're going to have so I think his cousin had a stone made for him. They told us all this. I didn't know this before we got there. But apparently there was
Edgar Allan Poe told you this when you got there?
Yeah, Poe told me this. Yeah, he haunts the place, and he's bored, so he'll talk to you.
Well, I mean, we go often to Poe readings by people dressed up as Edgar Allan Poe, and they do a great job. In fact, the last one we saw about a year and a half ago, before Halloween in 2023, was a woman, and she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. But the stone that they had made for him to replace the small one, there was a train accident, and the train went through the monument place and destroyed the headstone.
Lovely.
So they wound up raising some money to actually get the big white one that you see now, where him and his wife / cousin were buried. He did marry his cousin, but they did finally put a stone back by his original grave. But he's at the one towards the right by the corner of the street. So it's just like one step into the graveyard. Boom, there it is. You don't even have to step into the graveyard to be able to see it. Exactly. So it's very, very cool.
Pause on your Baltimore story. Just catch up on a couple of comments here. Brian Boak said, "We are right. He is drinking Gentleman Jack.
Yeah.
Not Jack Squat."
Nope.
And then Kat Reyes threw up a couple of comments here. She said, "The Farm Bill in 2018 only prohibit Delta 9, so producers are using Delta 8 THC from hemp, and that is what's being used." Okay, so we can check that. She said Weiner Brewing in Chicago is doing mushroom tea infused, but these are adaptogenic and functional beverages.
Right.
And then last one here, she said Farm Bill allowed hemp. So the THC is coming from the hemp. It's not Delta 9 THC from cannabis. That's why these breweries are being able to distribute in the United States, where cannabis is not legal. So
right.
Makes sense. There you go. All right, cool. All right, just now we're caught up.
Okay, we'll have to ask counsel if he's up on this.
Please. Counsel.
He does do brewery law, so
this is very true.
We'll see. Fact check first, Dave.
So,
no! Don't fact check first. He'll send us a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll send us a bill. No, don't do that. He is a lawyer.
Exactly. So talk about some of the breweries you went to, and I know you and one particular bar.
Well, I don't want to get too much into Baltimore because more than likely next week we will have one of the breweries on.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of avoiding the beer talk, so we can do more beer talk with that guest.
Well, I figured at one point in the evening you might want to discuss one of the breweries you went to.
I don't know what brewery you might be talking about there, John.
Sure. I mean, you know.
No, not Ireland.
Not Ireland.
I'm wearing my Guinness shirt that I actually got in Ireland. Actually, it was in the Dublin airport, as a matter of fact. I didn't get it in the gift shop.
He didn't get it in a gift shop. He got it on the way out.
No. Because you get it at the airport, it's like half the price as the one in the gift shop. But
and it's duty free.
It is duty free. What's interesting is Open Gate Brewery, Guinness Open Gate Open Gate, Open Gate Brewery by Guinness Open Gate Brewery.
Guinness Open Gate Brewery.
Yeah.
Guinness Open Gate Brewery.
It's just south of Baltimore. They're only about a mile away from Heavy Seas. Right, they're really close to Heavy Seas. So we actually pre-gamed at Heavy Seas, but we went there. We were supposed to go there about 3 years ago. We're coming back from Asheville, and I actually had a reservation for the tour and everything, and they temporarily closed.
They did.
And then the following year, we go to San Francisco, and I've got the tour all set for Anchor, and Anchor closed.
Closed.
So when I went to Germany,
well, I guess you can say they temporarily closed too, because
yes, temporarily closed. So when I went to Germany and had
at the time it wasn't temporary. But...
No, not at the time, we didn't know. But when I went to Germany, I had booked the tour for Via Stefaner, and I had death threats if they closed.
Well, we're going to shoot you.
Yeah. I just would have okay, fair cop.
Brewery almost makes 1,000 years of
until Dave decides to visit.
You decide to book a tour.
So,
but yes,
no, but
that did not happen. So there you go.
There's a lot of cool stuff to do in Baltimore that doesn't involve drinking.
Okay, did you do any of it?
I told you we did the aquarium. We went to Edgar Allan Poe House.
I was kidding.
We actually went to, what is it called? The American Something Museum.
American Something Museum? That's
it's actually a really cool museum.
You walk in, was it George Harrison singing?
No, but they had a totem pole.
Okay.
They had this totem pole. It was
those of you that didn't get that, he sung something off of Abbey Road. So.
In the way she moves,
right?
But the top of the totem pole was, I think, John Lennon. Mm-hmm. No, it was Jim Morrison. Then there was John Lennon, Janis Joplin, and the bottom was Jimi Hendrix. Okay, it's a pretty cool totem pole.
There you go. So,
and you walk up to it.
The top was
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison, John Lennon.
Yep.
Janis Joplin.
Yep.
And Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, all J's.
All J's, but only 3 of them were 27 when they left this mortal coil.
Yes, John was a little older.
John was almost 40.
Yep. So.
Or he was 40.
I don't know.
In 40 already.
May have made it.
39 or 40. 39 or 40.
Yeah, may have made it. Yeah. So that was. Why is the name escaping me? It's right by Federal Hill. Right at the base of Federal Hill, as a matter of fact. You look out one window and you can see people running up and rolling down the hill because it's a pretty steep hill.
Did you do that?
No. No, because the thing is, at my girth, if I roll too far and hit the bay, they're gonna they'll fish me out and then start pouring water on me to make sure that my skin doesn't dehydrate. It's rough. It's a rough holiday season. A lot of sweets. Made a lot of cookies.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of cookies.
Ate a lot of cookies. That's always. So I ate a lot of cookies too. I did. Jess bakes a lot of cookies. So I ate a bunch. She made me peppermint bark cookies.
Very nice.
Kitchen sink cookies.
Okay, so it's like everything in them.
Everything's in them. Yeah. Which were good.
Or is it just or is it just made from the crud that gets caught in the drain?
In the drain, yeah. No, what happened was the batter of just regular sugar cookies fell in the sink.
Yeah,
she took it up, and that's what she called them.
Yeah. Yummy.
Yeah, but anyway, but her aunt makes great chocolate chip cookies, and that is that's my present every year from her aunt is this chocolate chip cookies. And Jess always says, "Can I have one?" I'm like, "No,
nope, they're my present."
It's my present.
And that's why John walks with a limp.
Yeah, you get your own. Of course, she had some, but yeah,
of course.
But anyway, what I say and what I do clearly are
Yeah, two
two different
things.
things. But when it comes to that, but in any event, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So like I said, we'll get more into the drinking scene in Baltimore with hopefully next week's guest.
Mhm.
I guess was supposed to appear on the show today, but as everyone knows, a major storm
Yep.
tore through the center of the country
Mhm.
and walloped the Mid Atlantic. So
Yes, it did.
they're digging out. They're still digging out. So so hopefully next week. So
Yeah.
we'll see about that. But there's so much cool stuff to
She
do
was
there.
supposed
Cool
to be on
place.
tonight, and we were supposed to do this show next week, so we just swapped.
We just swapped.
Assuming she is available next week, which hopefully she is, and
Yeah,
then we can show her.
we shall see. So let's see. Anything else we did in Baltimore? Not really. Walked around a lot, saw a lot of things. I mean, Inner Harbor is just a cool place to walk around.
Sure, of course, definitely.
You know, they were cleaning up the Christmas market,
Hmm.
so they were disassembling everything. So that was a shame. But
Yeah. So now, do you get the holiday? I don't say the seasonal depression. I don't want to say that, but the holiday doldrums, like
the Blahs,
the blahs, because you have. Hey, it's festive. It's happy. It's where it's November. The holidays are coming up. It's Thanksgiving. We're
Two
doing all these good
Blave.
shows. We're doing all this. Yeah, right. Two Blave.
Um,
I did
well,
have a nice MLT sandwich the other day.
did you? You're like you love it when the mutton's nice and lean.
Nice.
Um,
Um,
most of my there's two reasons for my holiday Blahs. One, I usually don't see my kids for the holidays,
sure.
so that's always a downer. But the thing is, I spend so much of my life in either front end or back end retail
Hmm.
that the holidays to me mean a lot of work.
Hmm.
So it kind of rips a lot of the enjoyment out.
Spirit and the
Yeah,
enjoyment of the
yeah,
season out of it. Right.
yeah. When you fall asleep standing up,
I've done that. Been there. Been
yeah.
there. Done that.
So
Brian Boak just commented, and this is another thing you get in that harbor area: crab cakes.
we actually didn't get crab cakes or crabs.
What?
Nah, we didn't get crab cakes. Half the time we were full of something else that we had eaten. But also, you know that in winter it's it's going to be from frozen crab.
Right.
Yeah, so I would rather go down there when crab's in season and get fresh crab.
There you go.
So
Very true. Very true. Very true. Um, did you want to talk about the one bar you visited a couple of times, or you want to discuss
well,
that
yeah,
now?
well, we can definitely talk about that. It's everyone. There's a lot of like famous bars. One which we won't mention that closed, but there's a lot of famous craft beer bars around the country, and on the East Coast, we've got Cloverleaf in Jersey. But more popular than Cloverleaf in Jersey is a place called Church Key in Washington, D.C.
Sure.
But a bar that I think stands up to Church Key is Max's Tap House in Baltimore in the Fells Point neighborhood.
Hmm.
And if you've not been to Max's, you got to get to Max's. The only the only thing is their cellar's not as accessible as it used to be.
Hmm.
So if you see something on their beer and bottle list, I was driving our bartender crazy because I kept ordering stuff that was not available at the time. Because I wanted oak aged Melchior from Alvin. Yep, that would be it right there.
That's Church Key.
That's Church Key,
Hmm.
and I could probably pull up a picture of Max's. Yep, that is Church Key. I've been there. I've got pictures of Church Key. But let's see. I know I've got a picture of Max's somewhere.
I know we've talked about this, but the last time I was at Church Key, they actually had the night before, they had an event that they had 6 different variants of Duduchiel Pêche Mortel on tap.
Ooh. So there we have
There's Max's. There you go.
Max's Tap Room right
Mhm.
there. And the picture before it, you can see on the roof there, if I can get it to resolve.
There it is.
They've got a Ravens flag up there, but those are also Christmas decorations that are skeletons.
Sure.
But this is the inside. This is the inside for for Max's.
Dave will put these pictures up on the Facebook page if you're interested later.
Yep. And then we did talk about this haven of all things.
Yes, we did.
Open Gate Brewery and Barrel House. So it's.
I think we'll start doing that this year too. Any of these beer ventures we go on, throw up some of the.
Please don't say throw up.
Yeah. Post up.
Post up. Okay, yeah.
Some of the photos that we take.
PTSD from our last show.
Yes, it was. But as you see, folks, he did make it through. 8 days later, here he is drinking non-alcoholic beer on the next show.
Yeah, I died.
I mean, the tale of two halves of.
Yeah.
I mean, back shows is interesting. So.
I died.
That was.
I got better.
Mm-hmm.
But
there you go.
Ooh.
Anyway, cool. All right.
But now, for those who are listening who have been, my next trip, I leave on the 15th, and I think by the 17th I will be in New Orleans. Nolans. So anybody have now? I got my 20-year-old kid with me, so that means designated driver. So I'll be hitting breweries on the way down and the way to. He's picking me up at Atlanta, and then we're driving to New Orleans and driving back to Columbia, South Carolina. So we'll be going through Birmingham, Montgomery. We might swing through Biloxi. We'll be going through.
You're gonna have the blues.
Yeah, Blue Claw crabs. I don't know if they have. Do they have those in the Gulf?
Well, no, the blues. Biloxi
I know.
blues.
I know. Only if what's his name's there. Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see about that, but we've got a bunch of breweries we're going to hit on the way down. I would love to get to NOLA while I'm there, but we don't have a lot of time, and there's we want to do the Voodoo Museum, of course. The World War II Museum, I hear, is spectacular.
If you just waited a few weeks, you could have gone to the Super Bowl.
That's why we're not waiting a few weeks. As a matter of fact, we're going to stay in Atlanta on our way back up. And I'm like trying to figure out why the hell all the hotel prices are so high. Well, it's the weekend of the NCAA National Championship which is being held in Atlanta.
Makes sense.
Awesome. So we're actually stopping well before Atlanta. That's why we're staying in Birmingham, actually Prattsville, I think. I think it's called Prattstown, Prattsville, something along those lines. So any advice from New Orleans? Let me know
to Dave and let him know, and he'll.
We're going to be doing the Museum of Death as well.
There you go.
So that's going to be interesting.
So have you opened your third beer yet?
No. I'm still finishing. Well, I did because there's two of these in there.
Oh, that's why you poured a big.
Have you poured your second?
I was wondering why. I did. Yeah, I poured my other.
There you go.
Streligia.
Galicia. You got Galicia.
But in any event,
and he's. I don't know that I have time, Doug.
What do you say?
I'll let him know we're coming through. The only thing is we're not stopping in Atlanta. Get it there.
Atlanta, you have to see the brew guru. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're just blowing through. If it wasn't for the national championship being played, I would have stopped in Atlanta, and told John that we would be there. So unfortunately, probably won't have the time. Don't think we're even stopping in Atlanta.
Well, I mean, you got to eat, right? So why don't you
go out
of the way and go to Taco Mac?
Where is it?
It's not terribly far away from there.
Taco Mac?
Taco Mac.
Taco Mac. Let me see. And that is in... Well, there's a bunch of them. Which one does he go to?
I don't know.
I'll have to ask him. There's Conyers, Lawrenceville, Duluth, Sewanee, and the Mall of Georgia, which is in Buford. What do you think of when I say Buford?
Buford T. Justice.
That's the one. I'm smoking the
son of a bitch.
Oh,
ain't no way that you can come from my loins. Going home and kick your mama in the butt.
that was the second one, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second one. His kid wasn't in the first one.
No, his kid was in the first one.
Was it?
Mm.
Lives in Canton.
Brew
That's
Guru
right.
lives in Canton, yes. And Kat Reyes just commented in too. She said she's going to Ireland this summer, June to August.
Wow.
Oh, and she said, go to New Realm and see Mitch while you're in Hotlanta. Mitch Steele, that is.
Yes.
Mhm.
Probably not gonna make that either. Canton's well north, so I don't know that that's gonna be a thing. But I'll reach out to him to see if he's got time. We're gonna be geocaching, of course, and we'll be in like the Snellville, Grayson, Loganville area, which is east.
This is true. Doug, I had said to John the other day, after Robert Kraft fired Coach Mayo, I said, I guess Kraft didn't want to didn't feel like holding the Mayo.
Kraft makes awful mayo, by the way.
And
you got to get helmets.
He commented back and he goes, "Yeah, they should have just stuck with Miracle Whip from the beginning."
It's funny. Miracle Whip is very, very divisive. A lot of people hate Miracle Whip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like Miracle Whip.
I grew up with Miracle Whip. I'd make sandwiches out of it. Miracle Whip and peanut butter sandwiches.
Okay.
It actually worked.
I got you. I don't think there has. I'm open to anything, but I don't think there's been an instance where I've had Miracle Whip that I actually enjoyed it.
I would only eat tuna fish with Miracle Whip.
Fair enough. Yeah, I gotta put a bunch of Hellmann's in tuna with a little lemon juice too.
Okay, you make that a little tart, and Miracle Whip's a little tart,
yep.
But it's a little too sweet for most people.
Yeah. So, in any event, cool. All right.
My favorite things to do with tuna is put spice in it. We just have a lag.
I think we did.
Okay. We found our first glitch with the new service.
Exactly. So I can see me straight. Do you see me lagging?
There was a time that there was a little bit there where you lagged. Actually, you froze briefly. Okay. I thought you were just really thinking. But no, you were actually frozen, and then you caught up. But we had that happen on the old one. You're gonna have to breathe eventually, John.
What you call it? Yeah, he said, sadly, Mayo is collateral damage. Hope Pats can get Vrabel. I mean, Doug, seriously, you're absolutely right. Mayo is collateral damage specifically because Kraft wants to get Vrabel.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would seriously say, no, and we'll never know, but I would seriously say that I would bet a lot of money that if Vrabel was still coaching and not available, Gerard Mayo would be the coach next year for the Pats. I can almost guarantee the main reason that this all went down is so that Vrabel can come back to the Pats. So,
okay. Well, I'm going to open my third.
Open your third. Let us know what that is. And if you didn't know by wearing your T-shirt.
The sound might give it away.
There you go. It's a can. I got it. It's a can.
It sounds exactly like you're pouring. Let's see if it works the same way.
Should.
This, of course, is Guinness 00. Mm-hmm. We'll just Guinness 0. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It's got the cascade.
It does. Yeah.
That's a thing of beauty right there. Mm-hmm. So we'll let this sit, let the cascade settle out, and let's see if it becomes a pint of black or not. Which is a misnomer because, as we know, Guinness is not black; it's actually garnet.
It's garnet, yeah. And just said she saw a glitch in the Matrix for a sec. She said
there was it, but we had that with the old service just recently.
Every now and then we did.
Yeah, so we can't blame it on the new service just yet. Let's let that play out.
I don't know about that, Kat. She said, I wonder what would happen if you guys did 3 THC beverages in one show.
I'm not sure we're going to do a THC beverage show. I don't know.
It's interesting to ponder what would happen, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll do one special show and do one talk about it, like but we'll see. I don't know.
Or blather about it.
Or blather about it. Yeah, exactly.
Or
How's that pouring?
blave.
To blave. How's that pouring?
It looks like a Guinness.
There you go. How's it taste?
Especially when you put it in a Guinness glass.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Doug Smith just said, THC beer and weed pairing show. That's a show. Yeah, that would be a show.
Mm.
You're saying hello?
It
How
doesn't.
are you?
It doesn't smell.
Like a Guinness?
No, there's a smell to Guinness that's like inky.
Yep.
That's mostly missing. It's so the roasted oats you get.
Mm-hmm.
Roasted malts. Sorry.
What do you think? What do you think?
It's a little more chocolatey.
Mm-hmm.
The malts are coming off like something I recognize.
Guinness?
No, like a
Chocolate milk?
like a snack food.
Oh, pretzels?
It'll come to me.
All right. While you let it come to you, I'll just read what Kat just put up. Well, it's what all the breweries will have to do in order to survive. Hopefully, that's not the case, but I see where you're going. So it's worth trying. You could have some musical interludes. Yeah, that's true. She said, like going to the strip club. There you go.
No, not my thing. So, would have to ask a friend of ours about that one.
Yeah, we knew somebody that can fill us in all about that. Actually, know a couple people. This is at the point. And now on the main stage, it's Beer Samurai.
Oh, no one wants to see that. Who the hell would...
Drinking. You just go up there and pour a beer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's what we're talking about, right?
Okay, until we make this much money, he doesn't stop taking clothes off.
Exactly. Yeah, they pay you to put clothes on. That's the deal.
What's this middle for? Singing. What's the other middle for? Stopping.
That's funny. All right. So, well, you're drinking that pretty quick.
I'm trying to get the flavor. It's kind of not there now, so I wonder if it was just interference from the previous beer.
It could have been.
But it's definitely there's more chocolate than the alcoholic Guinness.
Gotcha.
That ink flavor and smell is not there.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like that rough edge, that the only rough edge Guinness has.
Right. No, I get it.
For those who drink it a lot, you know what I'm talking about.
So the rough edge is out, but everything else is pretty much there.
Yeah. So the chocolate comes out more, because if you really look when you're drinking Guinness, if you look for it, the chocolate's there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's not that far off. Definitely, probably the more pleasing of the three.
Very nice.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right. All right. I think it's time for top threes.
Top three? Sure. What are we going to do for our top threes?
Our top threes tonight are going to be top 3 favorite non-alcoholic beverages. Top 3 favorite non-alcoholic beverages.
That aren't water.
That aren't water, yes. We're not going to use water.
Because we both drink a lot of water. So.
We do. So, top 3 favorite non-alcoholic beverages that aren't water.
Yeah, because if you go by volume, then it's definitely water.
This is very true. All right. Have at it there, Samurai.
Well, I'm gonna throw an honorable mention in there because I don't drink it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I don't drink it anymore is because I don't drink soda anymore. The high fructose corn syrup it does nasty things to the body. So I gave
soda just in general, or like
more of the mainstream sodas that rely on high
like
fructose corn syrup.
Just soda in general.
Oh no! My honorable mention. No, I'm just saying I don't. It's not soda. It's actually Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
When I was in college, I'd probably drink 2 liters a day of that stuff.
Okay.
And I wasn't tubby in college, so.
He
But
would.
what?
He was on the old um,
My,
Musketeers.
tubby?
Tubby and Roy.
I thought it was Teddy.
No, it's Tubby and Roy.
Tubby and Roy.
Hmm.
So that's my honorable mention, Dr. Pepper. I used to love Dr. Pepper. Actually, there was one point I was sitting in the kitchen, and all the jackasses came over like, "Oh, we're going out drinking. We're going out drinking," and they'd have a bottle of Southern Comfort with them. And I had a glass of Dr. Pepper, and it was only like half empty. I'm like, I want to finish my Dr. Pepper. But we're drinking, so I opened the bottle of Southern Comfort and poured it in, topped it off,
Hmm.
so half and half. So I invented the Dr. Comfort that night.
Doctor or the comfortable doctor
No, we called it Dr. Comfort.
or comforting doctor.
Yeah, we called it Dr. Comfort.
Dr. Comfort. There you go.
But we were all drinking them for the rest of the night, as a matter of fact.
Well, you know what you get when you mix slow gin, Southern Comfort, orange juice, and vodka. Right?
Slow Comfortable Screw.
Right. Exactly.
And what makes it up against the wall? There's something if you add something else.
Galliano.
Galliano.
Yeah.
So my number 3. And my son that I'm going on this road trip with turned me on to this. Peace Tea's Peach Tea.
Wait, say that one more time.
So the brand is Peace Tea.
Peace. Peace tea. Right.
Right. And it's their peach version. It really tastes like you're drinking a peach. It's fantastic.
There you go.
So that's my number 3. My number 2, good old chocolate milk.
Okay. Fair enough.
Love chocolate milk. Now, you grew up with Quick or Ovaltine?
Both actually, but I preferred quick.
Yeah, of course we preferred Quick when we were kids because of all the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm older, I prefer Ovaltine.
Yeah, had my fair share of Ovaltine.
Yeah, did you get the?
Be sure to drink your
Oh,
Ovaltine.
did you get the
A
Dakota
crummy
ring?
commercial.
Did you get
Son of a
the?
bitch.
Did you get the Dakota ring?
You're right.
Um, they. Yes, I like Ovaltine now, but there's was it the Pompton Queen Diner has fantastic chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
But also when you come like to the stores, I think Cumberland Farms had very, very good chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't too bad. But my number 1, and I mean we could debate flavors all friggin' night. It's a milkshake.
Okay.
Like for McDonald's, vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that big thing about taking the McDonald's fries and dipping it in the vanilla milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think people have been doing that with Frosties for the longest time at Wendy's,
Fair enough.
right? So yeah, milkshake and peanut butter cup. Like back to your Reese's, black and whites.
Yep.
So many. Except for I just don't like mint,
No.
but almost every other flavor.
Fair enough.
Yours?
I have to do one because you took one. So.
Did I take your chocolate milk?
No.
Or did I take milkshake?
Yeah. So I'm making it an honorable mention. And then I have to do this. So. All right. So I'll tell you my honorable mentions. Well, you know what? I mean. Jeez.
Well, the only thing I didn't consider was like hot liquids, because coffee would definitely be up there.
Right. I guess we could have considered hot liquids.
I didn't think about it.
I did not on its own. You'll see in a minute why. But I'm not putting it up there. You know what? I know what I'll do. It was.
Johnny's working on the fly here.
No. It was something that I was going to put in as an honorable mention, but I left it off because of what I did put on there because of a reason. You'll see it. So, but I moved milkshake was in the third space, and now it's up to honorable mentions. So here we go. So my honorable mentions.
But did it bring all the boys to the yard?
All the boys to the yard. Yeah.
Oh.
So my two honorable mentions now are, one is root beer.
Okay.
All right. The more classic, the better, if you will.
Like a dad's or a.
Yeah,
Or you're talking.
I'm talking like Boylan's.
Boylan's, yep. Oh, for that matter, then you get the birch beer.
Don't get ahead of me. There you go. So root beer is
Root beer.
is the number one mention, right? And then of course milkshake. We just said that. That's one of the things. Like I always like, even in high school and in college, if a bunch of us went to McDonald's or what have you, or to get that, everybody's getting, this guy gets a Coke, this guy gets a Sprite, but I always got a vanilla milkshake. Right, my Big Mac, my nuggets, and my fries with a vanilla milkshake. Always.
Get the nugs.
So the one that was going to be an honorable mention that I decided not to, because I wanted to put root beer in there because it is two different things. All right, and I'll get to it. But my number 3 is a breakfast thing that I do have when I go out for breakfast, and a lot of times at home. Like probably, are you frozen? No. Okay. Yeah, you froze a little bit.
I've got a program that keeps trying to open up on me. No, it's on my end. I've got a program that keeps trying to open up for some reason. I don't know why.
Gotcha. In any event, yeah, you're good now. You're caught up. Tomato juice. Tomato juice.
Really?
I drink it. Anytime I go out for breakfast, I have tomato juice. It doesn't matter. I always order tomato juice, and probably, I'd probably say 60-ish% of the time, I always have tomato juice in the house, and I'll have unless I'm just eating a quick breakfast, like throwing a piece of toast in, or grabbing a handful of cereal or whatever, and a piece of fruit and run out the door. If I'm having any form of breakfast where I'm sitting down for a minute to eat it, I'm having tomato juice with it at home.
Oh, I have tomato juice for breakfast every now and then, but then again, there's vodka, Worcestershire sauce,
vodka,
celery sauce,
celery, and exactly.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what. Well,
Tabasco.
We've talked about this before. Like that's a hangover cure for me. It's basically, I don't put Tabasco and I don't put celery or whatever.
It's for the dog.
Right. I put tomato juice, lemon juice. I put lemon juice in the tomato juice, and I put a ton of black pepper.
What about horseradish?
No, just the lemon juice and the black pepper. In the
so many ways to make it.
Anyway, my number 2, iced tea.
Iced tea.
And I put a caveat of tea in there too, because I do
like sweet tea, lemon tea, peach tea, raspberry.
Regular iced tea, just straightforward.
Like the Lipton Instant, or.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll every now and then I'll get like a big jug of the Arizona sweet tea.
That I like. Turkey Hill makes pretty good tea.
Yep, Turkey Hill iced tea is very good. But for the most part, I'll get. We'll either make it. She'll actually make iced tea. She'll boil a few gallons of water and put the appropriate amount of tea bags in them, because we do have a lot of tea bags. Because, as you know, she collects those wades. All the little ceramic figurines.
Yep.
And they always come in red rose tea boxes.
Okay.
So I can't begin to tell you how much red rose tea we have.
You know how my mom used to.
But the counter of that is we brew a lot of iced tea.
You know how my mom used to make iced tea?
Go ahead.
She had like a big jug that she'd fill with water. And then she'd hang a bunch of tea bags in there and then screw the top back on, and she'd put it on the back porch. Yep. She'd make sun tea.
Sun brewed tea.
Yeah, it was very good.
And then my number 1, you kind of took thunder away from me before.
Sorry.
Is birch beer.
Now, the regular or the red?
You know what? I love the red, but regular birch beer, just regular straight Boylan's birch beer.
That's what I loved about Fuddruckers. They always had both.
Mm-hmm.
They had the
Fuddruckers had the red and the regular, yeah.
And they had the root beer and the black cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Boylan's black cherry is really good.
Boylan's black cherry. Black cherry is definitely a good. Yeah, if I added another thing in there, it would have been Boylan's. Not Boylan's. It would have been black cherry, but it would have been Doc Brown's. Doc Brown's. Black cherry, Celery.
Even Celery.
Yep.
Yep. Celery's a tough sell for a lot of people.
I like it.
I imagine using celery in a Bloody Mary.
Maybe
Give it a little fizz.
give it a little fizz. Yeah, you could do that. I could see that. It's gonna thin out the tomato juice a little bit
Which
more
that's
than.
the point, because a lot of people's problems with tomato juice is
No,
it's just that thickness,
I love it.
the glugs.
So, and there you have it. All right. Well, there you go. That's our top three for the evening. We got another comment here. Doug Smith said, "Thanks, Johnny. Now you've got me craving clamato."
Clamato. There you go. Now that's not a bloody. That's a bloody Caesar when you use clamato.
Right. All right. And then yeah, that's true. Unless he's just craving clamato on his
Yeah,
own.
it's very possible.
And he said, "Moxie, you love it or you hate it." Yeah, I do. I do.
So Moxie, I've had a few times. It's an acquired taste. I'm pretty certain that the flavoring in Moxie is whorehound. I'm not making that word up. It's HORE, hound, whorehound.
Whorehound, yeah. There you go.
It's akin to licorice.
It is akin to licorice. It is. So cool. All right. Any words to wrap up our first show of 2025?
Oh, you never told the story about the firehouse.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You almost forgot.
That. Glad we'll go out on that one. That is true. So it's a non-alcoholic show, right? We're talking about non-alcoholic beers. So years ago, when I was on one particular fire department, through one event or another, there would be a keg of beer always at the firehouse, right on tap.
Wait a second. It's a firehouse with beer?
Imagine that, right? So, you pour yourself a beer, whatever, and so forth and so on. Anyway, so as the story goes, at some point, only two or three guys knew what was going on, but a keg wound up getting tapped at the firehouse of O'Doul's. Right, so non-alcoholic beer. I mean, there's a very small amount.
0.5 or whatever.
0.5, yeah. And that was it was during the week, but that Friday night, a few guys went to the firehouse and they had a few too many.
It's 0.4, by the way.
0.4. They had a few too many and walked out of the firehouse, and called for rides or had people drive them home because they were buzzed or drunk, and they were
what did they do? Drink the whole keg?
No, they had
their normal amount.
They had their normal amount. I mean, they weren't like
so it's a placebo effect.
It was the placebo effect. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
It was 100%. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. Amazing. But I mean, it brings me back to, and we were just watching last week, obviously, the Honeymooners Marathon every New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, right? When Ralph wanted to celebrate with Ed Norton, that he was, I don't know, he was the king of the castle or something. Him and Ed were going to sit down. Him and Norton were going to sit down and drink a bottle of wine, and he had a bottle of Chianti, and he took it out and he put it. He says he went upstairs to get Norton, and Alice opened it up and dumped the whole thing out, and filled it with grape juice, and put the cap back on it. The bottle still smelled like wine because she poured it out, and they had. I mean, they probably only had like 2 or 3 sips, right? So I mean, they rushed it along a little bit. They didn't belabor it, but they got wrecked and passed out.
Nice.
And it was literally all power suggestion, just the placebo effect. So.
Yeah, power suggestion is very, very strong.
But that, of course, was a TV show. What I explained before actually happened.
Yeah. Back to life, back to reality.
Exactly.
Now I need a little snack. Got a little Ghirardelli caramel square.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. And Doug Smith, to wrap it all up, said he was a whorehound in his youth.
I don't know what to go do with that.
He spelt it wrong too, or
No.
right,
Or right for himself.
No.
No.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Well,
we proved one thing on the show.
What's that?
The more we drink, the more interesting we are.
This is true. This is very true. I do have to agree with you there, sir. This is a very true statement. So, we'll put a disclaimer on this for the audio podcast that goes up when it goes up.
Warning.
The podcast network. Warning: there's no alcohol being consumed on this show. Listen at your own boredom risk.
Please do not operate heavy machinery while listening to this show.
Exactly. It
This
might
is
not.
an FDA approved sleep aid.
Exactly. So anyway, all right, sir. Well, it's been a pleasure.
I think we don't make this an annual show.
I think you're right.
I-
One and done seems about right to me. What do you think?
Yep, we done did it. We said we are going to do it. Honored all those quitters
Right.
that celebrate Dry January.
Exactly.
No, but no, good for you. I don't have the willpower or the desire to do so, but I will be dry for January up until the 8th.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I don't have to drink.
Oh, neither do I.
Neither do I. Yeah, exactly.
I enjoy it.
But what I'm saying now, and what I think you were meaning by that is, if I'm not going to drink for a reason, whether it's Dry January, sober October, just because I want to, not drink for a couple weeks for whatever reason,
Purge your system, whatever.
I'm just not going to drink. Right. I'm not going to.
I don't need a reason.
Abstain from drinking, but yet drink a bunch of non-alcoholic beers.
There's that as well. But also, if I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to drink because everybody else is doing it.
Right. No, not at all.
That's herd mentality. And there's times where I take off every now and then.
Exactly.
One, because there's many times I just don't want to.
Exactly.
Actually, this whole dry, well, part of it was 2-day hangover. But part of it was just like, hey, you know what? I should, probably give it a break for a little bit.
There you have it. There you have it.
Give the liver enzymes a chance to get back to normal levels.
Give them a chance to recoup.
No.
All right, cool. Well, tune back in next week when we should be having a
Tune in tomorrow night to end a Chaser show. Well, actually, we'll see about that.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, pay attention to the Chaser. Pay attention to our Logroom Guys Facebook page for information on next week's show. We got our Smoke Beer show coming up at the end of the month. That's always fun. So a lot of good things, and we have a chocolate and Belgian beer pairing show.
Oh, I got to follow up with Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming up quickly.
That's coming up in next.
I told him I'd follow him in the new year, and it's now the new year.
It's the new year. So
it's a week into the new year.
And there you have it.
Tomorrow, so I'll follow up with him tomorrow.
There you go. All right. Well, on that note, we will wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.logroom.com. That's LEGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Except for tonight.
Yeah, except for tonight. Every Tuesday evening around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you could do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as any of the podcast channels you normally subscribe to. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those channels, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Sláinte.
Sláinte. That's coming up soon, too.
Mm-hmm.